I believe like with my sport, because of the amount of people that are involved in it, you're not just fighting the other guy that was trained by the other coach over there on the other side of the ring. You're also fighting the referee. You're also fighting the judges. You're also fighting the fans around, the friends, the family, the ones that are booing at you. You suck, and trying to get in your head while you're like 9 years old. We're just kids learning and fighting. What that did for me, it made me who I am in every aspect of life.
Pressure creates diamonds, but also exposes flaws. Teofimo Lopez has always fought like a man chasing destiny, explosive movement, lightning hands, fearless confidence, and relentless ambition.
Oh my God.
My father said, you gotta be an entertainer. He was seeing everybody else, all the other kids. He knew I could beat every kid. However, he just wanted to add a little bit more sauce into me. And what was it? He said, be different, have fun, enjoy yourself, entertain. And I always had that in me. I started boxing at the age of 6, officially. But before that, my father had me fighting and doing Taekwondo at 2 years old. So let's say from 2 all the way to 17, for 15 years, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't believe in myself like my father did. I did not. What my father instilled with me, and it stuck with me, were a lot of things that I could really say that has improved my living. Don't get hit. He always told me that. He's like, you know how to box, you know how to do this, just don't get hit. All he had to say was don't get hit, and I already knew what that meant.
Yeah. 1, 2. Right hand again. Give me that right hand, baby. Give me that right hand.
Oh, sure.
Don't show it. Okay, go. Go. Come on, again. Too fast for me. Go. Go, Jack. That's it.
From Olympic dreams to world titles, his career has moved with urgency, as if he never planned to stay in one place. He wanted this fight because Shakur represents what Teofimo cannot overpower with emotion, alone pure control and discipline.
That's what we've been waiting for, man. Working on drills, foot drills, hand-eye reaction, everything. My guy, TA, Go Feet Formula, that's what's about to happen right now. We're about to enter the whole matrix.
That's my boy. He was the one I started with.
So like we already here. Fight week is on, and we at the UFC Facility Center. I've never seen him this great since right after the Olympics when he turned pro. Very explosive. Now he's a takeback, and we just trying to focus on that and going to the next level, man, and taking over the 140 weight division, and that's what we focus on, right?
Their paths crossed years ago. Both Olympians, both groomed for greatness, always mentioned together, but never sharing the same ring. Like parallel lines daring boxing to finally let them collide. Teofimo's style is built on explosion and confident sudden bursts that flip rounds and momentum in seconds. A fighter who feeds off rhythm and reaction.
So it's really just trying to just keep it going, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You gotta have fun with what you do. I love this. I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. This has been 20 years in the making, 20 years in this, and I have so much to do and so much to prove within myself. So mentally, I'm prepared. Physically, I'm more than ready, and emotionally, I'm on fire, I'm on fire with it, because all I ever did was try to be great, and it's no longer trying. I am great, and it's all about just continuing and holding that. So it's all about just staying humble throughout the process, keeping myself level-headed, and really just enjoying each day that we get, because tomorrow's never promised.
When he's right, like against Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, he looks untouchable, sharp, creative, daring opponents to keep up. Now training with his father, Lopez Sr. Teofimo, is focused on rounds, discipline, and smarter combinations. That's a Teofimo experience brilliance wrapped in risk talent that can win big or unravel fast always chasing moments that turn fights into statements.
I'll tell you like this, a lot of these people, they're so ambitious, and it's okay to be, you have to. But the thing is, sometimes you don't get it because you're probably not gonna carry it the right way. You're probably not gonna be a people's champ. You're probably just gonna spend all your money, like a lot of these fighters do, on yourself rather than giving back. You know, it's all about being a people's champ. Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time for those things, you know, and he made a strong impact in the.
That's two.
Mastery isn't loud, it's consistent. Shakur Stevenson has moved toward this fight as if it were inevitable, step by step, never rushing, never drifting. An Olympian too, but wired differently, Shakur learned early that the ring rewards those who think faster than they move. This matchup is brewed for years because Shakur doesn't chase names, he attracts them, and Teofimo has always been the loudest challenge in the room.
How he stay long and keep that angle.
Yeah, he keep the angle.
Keep his head off that
Position,
fucking
man,
line.
just in case. Especially with somebody fast like him with timing. You can't be out of position. You got that.
Yeah.
He strong as hell. He picked me up in there. It was fun though. Just to be in the ring with him, share the ring with him, test his IQ out a little bit, see some of the moves he doing, and I'm gonna go take it with me when I go fight. So I appreciate Dre. You gonna run it back again? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Shakur's style is about subtraction, removing space options, and confidence until opponents swing at air and doubt their timing. He doesn't fight for moments, he fights for minutes, stacking rounds with clean work, sharp counters, and footwork that feels unfair to chase. Along the way, Shakur has built elite connections, learning from minds like Andre Ward, Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, and Terrence. Crawford, a rare blend, shaping his approach for Lopez. Losses haven't defined him because mistakes rarely repeat. He adjusts, refines, and returns sharper. Shakur wants this fight because Teofimo is chaos, and Shakur has built his identity on proving that chaos, no matter how gifted, can always be solved.
It's looking bad today. That's how it's looking. Cool gonna break some and if he don't break some shit, he's gonna beat the fuck out of him. Over this. Oh, nice. Oh. Kill in reverse.
We don't care who it is. We have no friend. Shakur, if his cousin get in the ring, he gonna get this smoke. If his brother get in the ring, he gonna get this smoke. We have no friend. Strictly.
Tarver called a classic chess match disguised as a brawl, and he's right. One truth stands out as Shakur controls distance and owns the center, he wins. If Teofimo forces explosive spurts and closes the gap, he changes the night. Tarver also highlighted the details fans forget: conditioning, mental focus, and daily discipline that keep a fighter sharp beyond the spotlight.
If you see Shakur controlling the distance, giving him angles, keeping that fight sort of in the middle, you gotta favor Shakur. But if he's on the back foot, if he's on the ropes, I mean, that's going to give Tiff.
And that matters most when rounds 9 to 11 feel like lifelines. Tarver called Teofimo a true combination puncher-fighter who can turn clean sequences into ugly problems. That's why he warned Teofimo must press in smart spurts, not explode blindly, or Shakur will pull him into a long, miserable night.
Teofimo, I believe, dangerous in this fight. He throws both hands in succession. He's a combination type puncher, and that always serves well if you got a real slick defensive fighter. And
Tarver leaned on history against Lomachenko, and Josh Taylor Teofimo became a different man. He said only that ultra-focused, intentional, aggressive version Teofimo can beat Shakur moving to get inside. But he also reminded us Shakur has the tools to stay the cooler, sharper chess player.
Like I said, could be, leaning toward becoming the face of boxing, because with Shakur being undefeated, having a big name like Teofimo Lopez on his record, hey, he's going to have to.
Timing counters, and now the frame to carry weight at 140 When Shakur fights like he did versus Zapata, he makes ordinary fighters look small. Tarver's bottom line, favor the boxer. If the plan works, fear the fighter if Teofimo takes over, and respect that this fight is a defining crossroads for both men.
All these big names to see, can he beat one or two more guys and become the real fighter, the king around that 140, 147 division. It's a lot of action there.
Right after Tarver framed the fight, as Teofimo needing to be his most dangerous self, just to crack Shakur's code, Wade Plemons zooms out and reminds us why it matters. He said it straight, this is best versus best in their prime. Boxing rarely delivers that without a decade of excuses. Wade emphasized it's not about collecting belts, it's about timing. These two have known each other since the amateurs, circling each other forever, and now neither can hide, as Shakur has the same chance to prove himself.
Has the same opportunity. This is Shakur's toughest test, no doubt about it. The Williams-Zapata fight was a tough style of fight that Zapata brings, but Zapata is not the boxer that Teofimo Lopez. Not even close to the same ability, technique, skill, experience, higher level. Like, it's not even close. So Shakur is going to have to answer those questions as well. If he believes, and he does, that he's the best in the world, this is how.
When Wade talked about the face-off as the first mental exchange, I loved that he wasn't looking for fake hostility. He was reading posture, eye contact, and who spoke through questions rather than at the interviewer. That's where Teofimo lives. He noted Teofimo actually respects Shakur's boxing movement and inside-outside ability, which matters because dismissive fighters get exposed, respectful ones prepare. Wade also challenged boxing culture, saying we're too obsessed with spotless records and shiny belts instead of who you actually beat. That hit hard. Teofimo has already shown he'll face the heat, taking on Lomachenko, Taylor, or anyone dangerous.
Traps for Teo in the fight continuously, and then eventually turn the temperature down on Teo and essentially try to starve him, right? Starve him of punches, starve him of volume, starve him of momentum and rhythm, right? Like, Teo's a big...
Wade didn't let Shakur off easy either. He said plainly this is Shakur's defining moment to fight, where you don't just show greatness, you prove it against someone who can punch back and think. Breaking down the weight question, can Shakur carry it to 140? Wade's skepticism was clear without hate. This isn't theory, it's a reality check. The funniest part, Wade reminded us that styles make fights, and pretending Zapata and Teofimo are the same is pure boxing delusion. Framed this way, the fight isn't about trash talk or power tweets. It's about whether Shakur's control can hold against a fighter who won't be starved, and whether Teofimo's ambition can stay disciplined long enough to matter. This isn't hype, it's pressure, and pressure always tells the truth.
With his movement, once he gets in that flow, it's a little bit tough to stop that ball rolling down the hill. If Shakur can just be an interrupter in this fight and interrupt timing, interrupt rhythm, interrupt momentum, I could see that being the way he wants to approach it and frustrate.
Right after Wade framed this fight around timing ego, and he was built for the moment, Breadman Edwards stepped in calm experience like someone who's seen this movie 3 times and knows the plot twists. He said ease up on the disrespect, treating this like Shakur will just walk through Teofimo is how people get embarrassed later. He acknowledged what we all see Shakur's consistency is elite, delivering the same high level every night, no surprises, which is why bets often lean his way. Then Breadman flipped it, showing why Teofimo is a nightmare matchup when dialed in athleticism, explosiveness, and confidence, combined into something frightening in seconds.
A basketball analogy. Shakur Stevenson averaged about 25 points a game, right? But every game he scored about 23, 24, 27, 28. He just have a good baseline. With Teo, 2 points a game. Some games he only have 10, but other games he got 50.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
I love the basketball analogy Breadman used. Shakur is a guy who gives you 25 points every night, reliable and steady. Teofimo is the guy who might give you 10 or might explode for 50 and set the building on fire. That's not inconsistency, that's volatility, and volatility wins when it peaks at the right moment. Breadman also noted something people rarely admit: Teofimo doesn't freeze in big moments. He's hot and cold, but under bright lights against Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, even Barbosa, he's shown up, which matters more than polished scorecards. At the same time, Breadman didn't sugarcoat the risk Teofimo struggles when chasing movers and pressing instead of setting up punches, which is exactly where Shakur thrives. That's the warning.
Is that the guys who've given Teofimo movement and the guys who've tried to that he's tried to press, he hasn't looked good. But when he's made fighters come to him and he could kind of like line them up for his counter punches a little bit better. So he's obviously a fighter that likes you to come to him more than a fighter that likes to come to you and kind of.
This fight isn't about roughing Shakur up or bullying him. It's about whether Teofimo can pull Shakur into his world without losing discipline. Breadman wasn't telling us to pick Teofimo. He was saying respect the ceiling. If Teofimo hits one of those explosive 50-point nights, all the safe predictions go silent. This fight is about identity under pressure. Teofimo chases moments to nights where chaos overtakes control and belief becomes force. Shakur chases mastery, slowly suffocating mistakes a steady wind that doesn't explode but lingers. Every analyst Tarver Wade. Breadman keeps pointing to the same truth from different angles. If Shakur keeps the fight small, clean, and disciplined, he turns it into a long night of frustration. If Teofimo finds rhythm without losing structure, he can flip the fight in seconds. There's no safe outcome, no easy script, just two Olympians who've orbited each other for years, finally colliding while sharp, hungry, and dangerous. That's why it matters. Whoever wins, someone's story changes forever. Drop your take in the comments. Debate at Shakur's control versus Teofimo's volatility. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BW Today.